Show y'all what I did for my little birds here for their feeder. This is actually a rabbit food feeder, so it's not really designed for chickens, but you see what they do. They try to get in there and they try to scratch. And with it being a wide open front, they were scratching it really bad to the point that they would drain this little feeder in a day. And I thought, man, there's no way they're eating that much. Well, their bedding down here was just, it was a solid cake of feed because they were just scratching it all out on the ground. So what I did now is I just put a little strip of wood in there and zip tied it in. The feed doesn't quite fall out of the feeder the same as it should, but I think they'll still be able to get in there and get it. I'll probably just check on it, once or twice a day and kind of thump on the feeder and make sure that it's still falling down. But so you see how they're still trying to get on there and they're still trying to scratch. It's just in their nature to want to scratch. But anyway, these are the golden sex links, and I just cleaned their cage. That's why they're the only ones in here. I've got to put the barred rocks back in here, but I want to put these little guys in first, let them get a good lick at the feeder. So I'm afraid the barred rocks aren't letting them eat as much, but you can see they're getting after it. They're eating good, so hopefully that feeder will work, or else I'll have to modify it again. But for right now, we're going to give this a shot to try to keep. You can see what I had to do here with their feeder. Because of that little block that I put on there, the feed wasn't really falling down properly. Again, this isn't a chicken feeder, this is a rabbit feeder. But I found out that if I tipped it up nice and steep, that it would make it fall in like it needs to. And you can see they're certainly having a heyday with it. It's these stinking barred rocks. I don't know why. They're the ones that were scratching all the food out. As soon as I put that feeder in there earlier, after I talked about the golden sex links a little bit, they were jumping all over that thing trying to scratch in it. It's just in their nature to scratch, I guess. But this is double good that it's this steep, because one, it makes the feed fall in like it should, but it also keeps them from jumping on it because they keep trying. They love to try to jump up there. They can't. They get frustrated because they can't jump up there. But I've got them all in here again together. My little Goldens were just drinking a second ago. They were all standing over there drinking. I wish I could have caught that on video, but it's fun. They figure out those nipples just like it's second nature to them. I mean, they just hit right on them. So anyway, I just want to show you how I had to tilt the feeder up like that to make it work. So if you guys have a setup like this, if you consider it as cheap and easy, a little rabbit feeder like that costs a couple bucks. And it works good in this little cage like this. I wouldn't recommend it for long term, but it works good for these little chicks. I'd share a little more with you guys. I was out here looking at the chicks. It's about 9:45 at night. Just checking on them, see how they're doing. You see how the feeder's holding up. It's still a little slow to drop feed, and I think it's because they can't quite get their head in there far enough to peck it and kind of make it landslide. But I think it's falling regular enough. I don't think I'm the only one that's come and thumped it to make it fall down, but I'm not kidding y'all. With a feeder not like this, they'd have drained this thing to that. These stinking barred rocks, they would have had this thing empty. And so we'll just open the little lid, take a peek in here. You can see it's still pretty full. So I mean, it's just, I don't know what it is about them. It's in their nature, I guess, to want to scratch and dig. And I've even seen the little Goldens do it already. They tried to grab. Look at that little turd. Look at this one. That one just pecked my finger. It kind of scared me because I wasn't expecting it. I was sitting here looking at the feeder and had my hand there, and one came up and pecked my finger. Earlier I opened up the cage door here, and one flew up and look at that one. Look at him. Her. Hopefully it's a her. Wanting to come in here and cause problems. But anyway, they're active little birds. So it looks like the little feeder idea is working. I'm trying to think what I could do to improve it. Certainly if I could make it drop the feed down a little bit better without letting them spill it all out, that would help. I think really that design as it is would be an okay design. It just needs to have a narrower trough, a narrower bottom, hanging out. So I don't know, maybe I can build my own and make it a little bit better, but hopefully this is the last time I have chicks in this cage, at least for a year or so. That would be my plan. Let these birds grow up big, and then ideally I'll start to rotate the flock through, and knock off, 6 or 7 of them a year, and put them in the freezer and replace them with 6 or 7 more chicks to try to, keep a good balance on your flock and keep it rotating through. So anyway, I guess I'll try not to rant too long, but just wanted to wrap it up. Got a little falling asleep over here in the corner. Guess she's had a hard day of, eating. So gotta love that. Just fall asleep wherever you want. No harm. Just pass out. No big deal. All right, we gone.